What is this for? Oh, this is still hang with. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
It's the same.
Have you tried Periscope at all?
Not yet. I can't keep up with everything.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, I got 700 people on Periscope the other day.
It's like too many. I will at some point. It's just. Yeah, it's the easiest for now. Because this is already embedded into 2 different sites. It doesn't show viewers, but it's already in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's.
No, I'm just saying, like, Periscope's trying to kill everybody. Like, they literally strong arm
Anyone
people.
invested in that?
What,
Yeah.
Periscope?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Periscope got bought for $65 million by Twitter, and so now because Twitter has such an upper hand, they're
Who
gonna make.
uses this? You guys put it in front of me. Who uses this?
Right.
Anybody. Just
When you have me talking about aliens and shit, man, I want to talk about
we haven't
aliens.
done that show in a while.
You haven't?
Nah. No, we kind of shut it down for a little bit.
Any financial shows? I'm flying to that company Tasty Trade I told you about.
Mhm.
I'm flying out to do their show in September to Chicago.
Oh, cool. It's at,
Options trading.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they played my video the other day, and then they invited me out.
You've probably been able to sell quite a bit with the way it's been jumping up and down.
Yeah, volatility is amazing,
Yeah.
man. That bullshit about Greece is just incredible. How scared people get. You can tell so much about the population by just looking at the VIX.
Something's different about this one.
Would you mind if I go on Periscope?
Not at all.
What is your Twitter?
Tiffany Masters. But let's go on time because this is on my.
For sure.
Oh, there it is. It's working.
Yeah, like 4 minutes and we'll be. Huh?
I should never wear earrings with this one. Oh. Yep, that's me.
So.
I should.
Oh yeah, Michael G. This guy's message.
Oh, so it sends out to your Twitter that you're live then to all of your things.
The
It'll
thing
tweet
is,
you?
so when I'll interview like a celebrity like real quick, they'll retweet as soon as I start, and then I get a fuck ton of followers like instantly. It's just
That's
the
Periscope, right?
yeah, the Twitter component makes it so deadly. That's the thing that's the reason why I started using it. And then like the first they had the
darling,
first
hello,
guy ever,
darling.
the first reporter ever in Pyongyang. Did you see that? The first shots ever of North Korea came through
I didn't see that one.
through Periscope.
Okay, go ahead, Tiffany. Take a shot.
Check, check.
How you headphones?
Hello. Up more. They're getting better. Eyes are getting worse. Ears are getting better. Okay, great.
How's yours, Michael?
Great, man. It might be a little lower. And then your Twitter is alltalkradio.net?
Yep.
You put the .net on your
No,
Twitter?
no, All Talk Radio.
All Talk Radio.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's it?
Like,
No, I don't use it that.
I'm like, hello. All right, let's bring up this POF. Let's bring up my OKC.
I'm guessing no, yes on the adult disclaimer.
Definitely adult today.
I figured.
We're gonna definitely need
Whoops.
the adult disclaimer. For all you all that are watching on Hang With, you are behind the scenes of our talk radio show here in Las Vegas, everyone. Hi, I'm Tiffany. This is Michael. So you're not going to be able to hear what they are hearing over here, but you can check us out on alltalkradio.net, 50 Shades of Masters, michaelsartineshow.com, or 50shadesofmasters.com, or any of our social medias now. Bingo!
Okay.
Look, that's us. No, right there. The emojis.
Aw, hey!
All right, hold on. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on? Hey, George, if you can get on the account and retweet, and Tiffany, I don't know if you can get on your Twitter and retweet this right
Yes,
now.
I can. I can.
All right.
I'm retweeting.
Okay.
How fun is this? Okay,
guys.
so I just go to my Twitter.
Uh-huh.
We're learning all kinds of stuff about social
What's up,
media
guys?
right now.
We're on Hang With, and we're on
Ustream.
and
We'll be on YouTube, and we're actually on Facebook
yeah,
right now.
we're on everything at
and
the same
all
time.
of our websites
Let's
right
see if
now
we can-
too
We can
embedded.
get all of this
Don't
on.
you just love us?
I might have to hold this just like this right here. What's going on, guys? We're about to go in the air and talk about some extremely controversial stuff.
And yes, about online dating and a lot of social media stuff. I heard, yeah, that's what I used before.
You know what? Yeah, let's put these together because I think they'd rather look at you than me anyway. Why don't you want to move this a little bit to the side, and then I'll set this up where we can both put our stuff right here. Send me some love, guys. We're about to go on the air. You can go to alltalkradio.net and you'll be able to see us. And then later on, this will be on michaelsartain.com. And let's see here. That might work. Here, let's look. You guys can just look at Tiffany. You don't need to look at me. If you need me, I'll be over here. Just look at Tiffany. I know, right?
And
So,
then I retweet you,
Uh-huh.
retweet, and away we go. Awesome.
there we go. Tiffany Masters retweeted. Periscope.
Can't you get both of us?
It might be hard. It might be hard. Actually, I could
That's
if we
what
could
he
back
said.
this thing way, way back. If we push this way back, then we could do it. Like almost to the edge here. We could do it like this. Honesty is good. I agree. Honesty is good.
There you go. Can they talk to you?
They are. They're writing. Hey guys, she's never done Periscope before, so
Nope.
go ahead and write her a
I'm a
message.
Periscope virgin.
Write her a message right now.
And you all.
Actually, you know
yeah,
what? That
we'll
would be
check it out
better.
later.
Where this is right here. Duh. Let's just do this over here. That'll make it work.
You'll
right
be
there.
hanging with my Periscope.
Actually, that's not gonna work.
All right, let's get to the real show, though. Hi, I'll talk.
Okay, we'll start recording right now.
What's up, Hawaii?
Mike's gonna be live.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, I am Tiffany Masters, and we have.
Hey, I don't know who I am today. It's really hot outside, and I think I had a stroke. But some people call me Michael, and some people call me douchebag. I'm not
Well,
really sure
yeah,
who I am
that's
today.
usually me, but I've
sure.
missed him so much. How many shows have we done together?
Probably, I think 52.
Yeah, something like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
about 52,
Yeah.
52 card pickup or whatever that
Yeah.
is. Well, I picked him up today. This is Michael Sartain. Welcome back to All Talk Radio. And today is very special because it's definitely, we're back into the dating conversations, and especially with the reason why we call douchebag is we always have a hashtag douchebag of the week, but Michael didn't make that title this week. But
What's up, France?
big news. We are big time in social media this afternoon. We've got Hang With going on. We've got Ustream, YouTube, our websites. There's 4 of those actually, if we want to count them all up. Today we're doing, I'm a Periscope virgin. We're doing that, but we're actually here to talk about social media and the .coms out there blowing up, and I don't understand why the online dating sites are valued at so much money. Tell us more about what you were blowing my phone up about yesterday.
Well, you know, it was just interesting because I actually get my news from tastytrade.com, and they were going over an article about the guy who owns Tinder. Actually, no, it's Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish,
Right.
POF.
So Plenty of Fish makes their all their revenue from advertising. They don't charge, and they just got bought by IAC, which owns Match.com, for $575 million. Now, most of that's going to be stock. But that's generally how it worked. The guy who created the site, he's pretty much taken all of it, taken the money and run. And then I got curious. So if POF is worth $575, then what is Tinder worth? Do you guys any
Now,
guesses?
to catch you all up, we've done over 100 shows here where I have always told everyone, do not get on a dating site that you don't pay for because you get what you pay for.
Right.
And I've always
You
preached
can't
that.
afford free. Like my man Tony Batista says, you cannot afford free.
And you get, yeah, it's just, and so now Match has bought POF.
Right.
Hopefully they're going to do something
Yeah,
with
so
it then.
IAC has bought Match. Now, here's the thing. Now, we talked about this before about the inadequacies of some of these sites. They're still making money. So it's like...
How are they making money on a free site?
So
those advertisements are disgusting.
Right, they are disgusting, and they generate revenue because the
Penis
issue,
enlargements
so
that
the
don't
issue
work.
the issue is scalability. So if you have an app or a website or something like that, if you get 10,000 followers and it allows you to generate $200 worth of revenue, but you end up with several million people on the site like Plenty of Fish does, and they grow their pie by having, like free interaction. By doing that, you're going to end up with 20 million people on the site. I think they have 6 million people on the site.
Well, let's check that out right now.
And tons of followers. Like
right now, how many do they have online currently?
So they have 500,000 on right now.
Right now that are live.
Right. So the thing is, that's big advertising money. Now, is it generating revenue to be worth $575? Probably not right now, but
I
it
don't
will.
even see an advertisement on it.
Right, you're not logged in right now, so you gotta
Let's log in.
Yeah. But the other issue is this, and you're not connected right here. The other issue is a lot of these. Yes, we can talk to you guys. Can you hear us? Yeah, hit me up. All right. So the other issue is, God, how many Size Matters gamings are there here? What the? That's hilarious.
Size matters.
So the other issue is a lot of these companies, like for instance, I don't know if you guys saw, Netflix just went through the roof. New York Stock Exchange just went absolutely bonkers. Netflix, I bought it at $6.50. It went up to $7.40 in like a week. It's insane. That company doesn't make money. Because it doesn't make money, you can't value it. You cannot value the company against other companies that make money. You just try to guess what it does. The same thing with Match.com. It's future earnings that they're projecting. So since IAC bought Plenty of Fish, Match.com is worth about $1 billion. It's a little less than that, maybe 700 million to $1 billion. Tinder is worth $4 billion. They got a buyer for 10% of the company for $500 million. Bloomberg is disputing that the evaluation is that high. Maybe 4 billion, maybe 5 billion, somewhere in that area.
And what do you say that, like, these websites? Let's use Snapchat as an example. When Gary started it all, how much do you think it cost to start something like this?
Probably a few $100,000, because the problem is the servers. With something like that, you're going to need to continually be updating software, and you're going to need server space. Mm-hmm. A lot of these places, use Amazon Web Services in order to get space in order to do this. But that's the main thing, and then you need massive scale. You need to be able to be massively scalable. One of the reasons why Facebook, if you read the Facebook Effect by Mark Zuckerberg, one of the reasons why Facebook was so successful was because they were scaling ahead. The company was actually not in the green. They were in pretty big debt. They had to keep asking for more equity because they kept trying to grow the infrastructure of the company before the company would grow. So Friendster didn't do that. Friendster got to the point where they were so super slow. MySpace started letting the users have too much functionality. The website got too slow, and then nobody wanted to use it anymore.
I don't think it had enough functionality, MySpace.
MySpace? I thought it had too much.
Boring.
I really hated to get on someone's MySpace page, and then all of a sudden music starts blaring at me, and then I see a big like huge high definition JPEG as their background.
There was a couple I got on. It took like 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It would take 5 minutes to load.
To download, right?
And some of us
freeze your computer.
Some of us were doing mobile before those websites existed. We were just running straight HTML on our phones, and it was really, really slow. So that was part of the reason why Facebook, because they kept it simple, they were able to do better. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, man. $4 billion for Tinder, right? That's probably the biggest one right now. Facebook is worth, I want to say hold on, let me see here. Just to put it into perspective, because that does sound like a lot of money. One of the reasons why these companies are getting so much right now is because Facebook is $245 billion. Twitter is worth $22.6 billion. That's the market capitalization based on the price of in the stock market today. But just to put it in perspective, Apple, which is the largest company in the world, is $740 billion. Microsoft and Google together are not worth that much. Microsoft's $377 billion, and Google is $368 billion, and that is the stock price. That is the stock price times the number of shares, and that's how you come up with that number.
So, which ones I'm wondering with the analytics here, who spends the most time on which dating app? You'd be surprised.
If you call Facebook a dating app, Facebook would be.
Well, of course,
right.
Yes. We both agreed it's the largest dating site out there. Yes.
The thing about Facebook is that 1 out of every 5 page clicks on the internet right now is a Facebook page click, and so because of that, it's Facebook is the number 2 website on the planet behind Google. So because of that, I would have to say Facebook. For me,
But let's get down to Match is it's very much slipping. POF is a huge increase because it's free. Tinder, I hate to say it, Tinder is conquering out there. OkCupid is definitely slid down, but OkCupid is the one that is hacked the most. You can lose
Oh, yeah,
a
I mean,
lot
sure,
of information on there.
Absolutely.
Today I just had a conversation. Spike TV had contacted me about doing a show with them, and it's about computer hacking and all. And there's too much information out there. Be careful what you're putting out to everyone, literally. When you say if you'll put out on the first date, okay? If you say if you're into getting choked, if you say you're into dressing up in women's clothing, all of that never erases on the internet. Be careful. These are not just fun dating games. This is information that's on the internet that will never, ever, ever, ever go away.
Yeah.
Agree?
No, definitely. I mean, you have to be very, very cognizant, and we're back on Periscope again. Sorry about that, guys. You have to be extremely cognizant of what it is that you put out there. But here's the thing: like, I think we're going to get to a point to where 25 years from now, there's going to be a guy who runs for president, and there's going to be a video of him out there getting drunk because there's too many cameras, and you're not going to have anybody who's a clean. Like, anyone who's boring enough to not have any dirt on them, you wouldn't even want to be the president anyway.
Michael, what's the craziest thing you've done that's
Me?
on the internet? Look
That's-
at me, not at Periscope. Look at me.
That's on the internet. The craziest thing that's on the internet. I mean, I made those Michael Sartain videos, Michael Sartain show. Some of those videos are pretty risque. I'm trying to think. That's on the internet.
There's some crazy selfies that get out there too, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to take that down," and then it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely an issue too. I mean, you definitely have to take down some of the stuff that you write because it becomes whoa, we almost made it. You definitely have to take down some of the stuff because I have a friend of mine. She's just trying to get in the Las Vegas Fire Department. She deactivated her MySpace. Or Facebook. I actually think like it's going to get to a point where like if I get into a relationship and social media is causing me too much grief, that I'm probably going to deactivate my Facebook at some point.
I think it's a part of life, though.
It is a
It
part of
really
life,
is.
but
You
so is
cannot
being in a
live without
relationship.
this.
So is being in a relationship. That's part of life too. So like that makes like I used to have this.
Michael, how did you find us today? You did a group thing. What suite are you in?
Yeah.
And it was so easy. We went, oh, Bing,
For
G.
sure, Messenger is.
It's a part of communication. Are you going to start using?
Oh, you watch my
pigeons?
YouTube videos. Sorry, they're talking to me on Periscope.
And we wonder why Michael's not on the show anymore. Michael, hi, I missed you.
What's going on, guys?
Hi, show
Hey.
number 52. Let's
Hey.
make it to 53. Hello. So Michael, how soon should you put out on a date? I've had a lot of people ask some questions today, and so let's answer those questions. When it comes to online dating, and you just meet somebody online,
I mean, I before I would have said just do whatever you want to do, but right now I got to tell you, I mean, second date, the absolute earliest, maybe third date or later. Most of the girls that I meet now are through Facebook. That I would go out with, and the reason why is because there's a little bit of a sanity check and a little bit of a cross check between who their friends are and my friends are and how they want to portray themselves.
What's the proper way for a girl to say hello then online through Facebook?
Well,
say hello?
they shouldn't have. This is what I tell my guy friends. If you have a girl that likes 4 or 5 of your pictures, then you just send her a, hey, how you doing on the messenger. And what you'll find is that they'll tend to respond to you because they've liked so many of your pictures. They just found whatever you have to do, whatever you have going on to be interesting.
What if it's psycho and they've, you know, when you wake up in the morning and there's like 60 of them?
Yeah, I mean, if a girl likes 60 of my pictures,
that's a lot of flags.
That would be a little weird if she liked 60 of my pictures. That would be odd. I've had girls like 10 or 15, but never 60. That would be
You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah,
like,
no,
where
for
it's
sure.
like when you go to when it's like status, like brrr, and it's like okay, hello.
Yeah, you know what's
They
funny?
spent some time on that page.
I'll tell you what is funny though is when I take pictures with a girl that I'm friends with, and then her creeper dudes. It was shorting out here. Then some dude who's a creeper of hers likes every picture of her on my Facebook, and then I'm like, I'll even text her. I'll be like, listen, there's some creeper who's like, liking all your photographs. I talk to these girls, fellas. Like I'm just gonna be real. Like when you see a girl with 20,000 likes on a photograph. One way to ensure 100% that you will never go on a date or ever have sex with that girl is to like that picture. Like that's not the way to go about it, honestly. Like she put the picture out there for validation. You gave her what she wanted, and she did absolutely nothing in order to get that validation. So why would she even go out with you? So I've had Amanda Lomaju. I've talked to her about it, and it's just like I would never talk to a guy who came up and walked to me in a club. I've never talked to a guy who tried to hit me up on Facebook. I only talk to friends of friends. Facebook is a way to become friends of friends. I mean, that's just it's a way to grow the pie. It's a way to increase the number of people that you're friends with. exponentially, very easily, sitting at your house.
And what was another question? I think it's probably too early to answer that one. It's more in depth of relationship questions. That one was deep. I'll just wait. That one was coming later. Yikes!
Hey guys, look at Tiffany. You don't need to look at me. There you go.
Hi.
There we go.
Any events coming up right now while I look for this other question?
We just had round 2 of the Rehab Bikini Invitational with Crystal Hefner. She's our DJ, and Crystal's invited us to shoot at the Playboy Mansion. So we're gonna go shoot there.
They
There we
miss
go.
us together.
There we go.
I like you two together.
There we go.
We have a love-hate relationship. So putting out, you say wait to 2 or 3 dates.
At least 2.
Oh, this is a good question. They ask, how soon do you take down your social media online dating after you've been dating?
Yeah, that's funny because
That's a really, really good question.
There's probably still a Match.com profile of mine, and I don't, because I lived in LA, and if you guys have ever lived in LA, it's the worst dating scene in the world. I had a Match.com profile there. I never took it down because I just didn't care anymore. I had a girlfriend, and I didn't even think about it. It would be kind of weird. Like, the thing is to take it down and to put it up. A lot of people don't know how to deactivate certain sites.
I don't even know how to do it. I don't even know which ones I'm on right now. Farmer's Daughter.
Right. They just wouldn't even bother taking it down. So, like, to me, I don't think that's really consequential, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just...
I guess that would be a really big insecurity. It's kind of like telling somebody, my response would be, if you've got issues and if that person is that insecure, you can tell when a person logs on anyway. And if you see that they're still logging on and hunting, well then you shouldn't be with them. And if you've got a reason to go and look and see if they're logging on and hunting, then you shouldn't be with them anyway.
I'm starting to have mixed feelings about this because I'm starting to see it very difficult to have a relationship in this city, period. And so the thing that I see is, like, I think there might be a point where, like, you really have to, like, control what... Here's the thing. It's really easy to be monogamous when you live in Des Moines. It's hard to be monogamous when you live next to the Playboy Mansion. You know what I'm saying? It's the same husband and wife who love each other the same way, but it becomes more difficult because, listen, you can say, well, I found true love. My man would never cheat on me. My girlfriend would never cheat on me. But the problem is...
I highly disagree. My last boyfriend was in 2007. I'm so picky. I haven't seen anyone. So that's...
Right. I mean, what I'm saying...
that's not monogamy. I'm just...
No, it's not monogamy. I'm talking about Las Vegas. Las Vegas might be part of the problem. And that's my point. Like, it may be too difficult to be in a city with this many distractions, because our evolutionary psychology is always going to have men looking for the more reproductive, the longer reproductive career in the female, and females looking for the more alpha male. And when that keeps happening over and over again, and you're dating a cocktail waitress, or you're dating even a receptionist or whatever, you're dating an attorney, you're dating a real estate agent who's always being around other alpha males all the time, and it's getting pushed in her face all the time. It doesn't mean she's going to cheat on you, but it may start to wear down her willpower after a while of just seeing these good-looking rich guys. It's just harder. It just definitely is harder when you're around other attractive, when the two of you are around other attractive people to be.
So this is a perfect opportunity to ask this question from Carrie. Carrie asks, at one point in time, do you all start sharing the bills? You just brought up, when you start dating a cocktail server or something like that, if they're taking you away from work, then he should be paying the bills. If you're dancing or something like that and you can't go to work, or I'd say if you're traveling with him and you can't be there for your job, then he can pay the bills.
It's interesting.
You know, if you're taken away from being productive at your job, then they would be either one. When I was doing my show in LA,
are we talking about splitting the bill at dinner, or are we talking about splitting rent?
She says bills.
Splitting the bills.
Splitting the bills.
So we've moved in together? I don't think we're at that point where we're moving. I think she's talking about dinner.
Nope, she said, don't forget to talk about money and relationships too. When is it proper for couples to start equally sharing bills and such?
I mean, if you guys live together, that would be probably the first place. But I mean, I think you have to kind of look at the level of equity with income. For me, I paid for everything with my girlfriend. I didn't have any problem with it. When we weren't...
You're a gentleman.
When we weren't
That's
boyfriend...
your way.
Well, I mean, but I also have means. When we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, I didn't pay for everything. It just, when we became boyfriend and girlfriend, I just felt like that was my place because...
You're a Southern gentleman, though.
Right. I mean that definitely had something to do with it. I will tell you this also, though, that can backfire on you because there are two frames that women see men in, and one is the lover and one is provider. And if you get into the provider frame too quickly, a lot of times, hey there, how you doing? You get
That's
in,
her.
if you get into provider frame too quickly, a lot of times women will start behaving differently than they would if they were just wildly physically attracted to you. So you can kind of ruin that. I've actually had that one time where it was a girl I was dating, and I paid for her to go on a trip with me on a cruise. And once, when we were just hanging out and having fun in Atlanta, everything was fine. We got on the cruise, she got really weird because she felt that I felt she was obligated to sleep with me, and I never felt like that before. I never tried to put that pressure on her, but she put that pressure on herself. And so it made things
We had
kind of weird.
discussed that when we were on a cruise together.
Yeah, it
I
makes
didn't
things
put
kind of
out.
weird.
No, I'm kidding. We were trapped on a singles cruise. It was bad. Yeah, that was funny. No, it's a total joke with us. Anyway, inside funny joke. Norwegian Cruise Lines. No. Our answer to that is you'll know if you're living with each other. That should have been discussed before you moved in. If obviously you're having issues there, and if you're not comfortable, then
I get.
obviously, girlfriend, you're paying for everything, and Buddy needs to get a job.
I'm curious if that is exactly what, because when I hear that question, my first thought is that she met a deadbeat, and the dude like lays on the couch all the time, and he takes care of her. And he just gets used to that. It works both ways. Like if you don't put people in the struggle, they won't struggle.
Don't move in with them.
People aren't going to work harder than they have to do shit. So if you sit there and like you pay for everything for your girlfriend, she might quit her job. But I mean, if that's what you want and you get to spend more time with her, then that's fine. But if you have a dude and he's like, he gets out of, he just sits around and smokes weed all day and you don't do anything about it, he's just going to keep doing that. People are always going to take the path of least resistance.
I would say, my suggestion would be to say that you're at that point in the relationship because Christmas is coming up. I always use holidays as a great excuse. Yeah, that's a good one.
To break up?
Did you?
A great excuse to break up?
We just said that. Remember that last year. Christmas is coming around. It's time to be single. So there's your advice there, darling. You should have known before. Yeah, going in. There's definitely, when is the time to start splitting the bills? Well, you should have known that before going into it. It should have been known beforehand, or not at all. You should have known to pay all along. I disagree with putting out. Me, can you believe that?
How long should they wait?
I was one to say, 3 to 6 dates. Remember that? And with owning LasVegasBucketList.com, I was always the one to say, like, oh, you got to do it today or regret it tomorrow, and all this kind of stuff, and wait on dating. Then things have started to change. The more people that I'm meeting that are looking for love and wanting to move faster than usual.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the point. I mean,
I'm like, might as well do it or regret it, because I've seen some people that are having emergency heart surgeries, and you were sick, and some other friends that have had some accidents and everything, and I'm like, wow, it's not going to hurt to start loving today, because you don't know what you've got tomorrow. And I met a friend of mine that just mentioned something about 9/11. And he was like, until you're sitting right there a block away and you see that, it changes your perspective to love today.
Yeah, oh yeah.
To love today and not play those stupid games of wait 3 dates and call her later. Call her the next day. Call her later on that night.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Don't play games.
If I go out on a date with a girl and she shows me that she appreciates me and she admires me, I don't need to sleep with her then, because I know that.
Well, you're at Peppermill anyway.
I'm at Peppermill every night. But no, the thing is, like, if the reason why men rush into it a lot of times is because men have this natural cuckolding defense. Like, they don't want to be cuckolded. They don't want to be.
What is cuckold?
It's when you are using your resources to pay for someone else's child. That is literally the answer. But more figuratively, the term cuckolding means, like, she's going on dates with 3 dudes who are all paying for dinner and sleeping with the bum who lives on her couch that the other guys don't know about.
Rhinoitis.
Right. Nobody wants to be one of those dudes who's paying while she's sleeping with some other dude. And so you go on a date with this girl and then she doesn't sleep with you. There's a psychological impulse that men have. It's based on just caveman reaction that if she's not sleeping with me, she's probably sleeping with somebody else. It doesn't mean that it's true.
But we are taught to say no.
Right.
We are taught to keep our legs together, to be a
because
proper lady.
It's not just that you're taught that.
So that's very hard.
It's not just that you're taught that. Every single organism that has sex, the the gender that has the larger sex cell is the pickier gender. So even orangutans, it doesn't matter if it's humans, it doesn't matter if it's elephants, the female is the pickier gender because they have more to risk. So evolutionarily, they have to be pickier as far as who they have sex with. There's male fish that actually carry the eggs, and the females fight over the male fish. It just depends on who has the
But
larger sex
Michael,
cell.
we've got the oxytocin afterwards
so do
to
men.
cuddle.
So do
But
men.
your oxytocin is released afterward, and you want to go over there and grab the remote control and see what's next. Your oxytocin is right
That
before the
depends.
sex.
I mean, I've definitely had sex
Girls
with a girl.
fall in love after.
I've definitely
Guys haven't
fallen in love after sex before.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
It's biologically proven.
Right.
It's
No.
absolutely, it's
but,
proven.
But you're trying to.
And I think that's what girls are afraid of.
But you're trying to equate what happens after sex. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you that what happens is because men don't need comfort, they have no compunction against having sex with somebody that they don't have feelings for, and because of that, then the oxytocin is not going to get released. But if you're a guy and you have sex with somebody that you've liked for a while, it will be the same effect as having a child or a woman falling in love with a man and having sex. It's just the difference is women have a certain level of emotional investment that they have when they have sex with a guy for the first time, unless they get drunk. And a lot of women use alcohol and drugs
Absolutely.
in order to get over that
Yes.
that inhibition. But men don't need that. Like if a woman would have sex in a cardboard box, we wouldn't buy a house. We don't care at all. Like seriously, we don't need comfort. Women need comfort. Men don't need comfort. We don't. It is evolutionarily beneficial for men to want to have sex with every woman whenever they want to have sex with them. I know that sounds
So do we have
pig-headed.
any advice for the women out there that want to, let's say, there's a guy that wants to sleep with these women immediately, but they want to keep them. And, they're afraid if they put out, they're going to lose them so fast. Do we have any
all right.
advice
So,
for
yes.
the single
So
women,
listen.
let's say in their 40s,
Okay, this is going to sound like
Or even their
this is going to
20s.
sound like a really weird tangent, and none of you are going to like this answer. There are always sometimes I have parents come to me and they're like, "What could I do to make my child smarter?" As if genetics don't play any part in it. They act like there's something that they can do. Everyone thinks that their child is above average. And obviously, mathematically, that cannot be true. Every woman thinks that they're less promiscuous than their friends, and everyone thinks that their friends are more promiscuous than them, which again, mathematically cannot be true. The thing is, people have biases, and everyone wants control, and everyone wants to believe that they can have control. Everyone wants to believe that if I go through these certain steps, I will make this guy who normally would not have liked me, like me. And it doesn't work that way. Dudes are generally in or out in the beginning. They just kind of know whether or not this is going to go somewhere. And it depends on where the dude is in his life. I'm definitely different at 37 than I was at 27. Where the dude is in his life, and it depends on how he feels about the girl. When I meet a girl who is exactly my type, she could slobber and fart, and I'm still going to want to hang out with her after sex. It does not matter. We have sex on the first date or the fifth date. It doesn't matter. I'm in. That's how men work. We don't care about the ambiance and the smell and what color her fucking toenails are. We don't care about that shit. We're just ready to go. Women, it's like, see, this is the thing.
I missed you.
This is the thing that's funny. Women don't understand this, like, because you live in a different reality. In order for a man to have sex, in order for any man to have sex, he has to go through a series of steps. And if he fucks up on any of those steps, then he will not have sex. Anything. Like, she could like him, and he could say the wrong thing, no sex. So for a man, it's like walking a tightrope. And sometimes if a girl really likes you, it's a wide tightrope. Sometimes it's not a wide tightrope. For a woman, it's the opposite. For a woman, she's in a valley. And in order for her to not have sex, she has to actively say, nope, I don't want to have sex. Because if she lets things just go the way they're going, lets things just happen, she's going to have sex with the dude every time to
So
be
sex
initiated.
is so important. It is the glue that can really tie this together. At the end of the night, it really is that important.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely important. Because here's the other issue. For women use it sometimes to get validation unhealthily. Men use it because it is sort of a validate. It's like, for a woman, her pound of flesh that she gets from her boyfriend is the fact that he is willing to emotionally commit to her. Like, just sit there and listen and do things for her. He finds happiness from being with her. He makes her feel special. A man's pound of flesh is sex. Like, the
What
thing
do you
is,
think women want then?
like I said, women want an emotional. Listen, women want to feel.
Really? Me? What do you think I want?
Women want to feel special.
Michael, you probably know me better than anyone in this town. What do I want?
Women want to feel sexy and they want to feel special. And that was the issue.
I want respect.
Right, you do, but see that is kind of a masculine quality that you want to feel respect that much. Like you do want to feel respected.
There we are.
But
and that goes into our topic.
Right,
You know,
but-
it's like, are we too? It's so hard for us to let. I don't know. It's like, are we?
okay,
We're
I'm gonna say something.
We
that
need to start letting them feel
okay,
like men.
So here's the thing, like
I do. I need to start doing
this
that.
is the problem that you and I both have because we're.
I need to start opening my.
We're super extroverted. This is the problem that you and I both have. In your case, I believe that a man going out with you might have a difficult.
You look
time,
at your phone.
right? Might have a difficult time feeling appreciated because you are constantly introducing him to famous people, and you go out to places and it's like everyone there knows you. And in my situation, like if I'm with a girl and she knows that I would never cheat on her, it's still difficult when my friends are playmates. And it's difficult when my friends are all these models that have 700,000 Instagram followers. And I used to think, well, if my girlfriend knows I would never cheat on her, doesn't she feel special? And then I realized no. No, even in that case, which goes back to my initial premise that it might be difficult to have a committed relationship in this city because there are so many.
That
there's
could
so many
be
problems with that.
anyone, though. This could be a cocktail server that works over at the Bank nightclub. This could be,
I
you know,
agree- I
anyone
agree
in
with
this
you.
town,
I
this
agree with you,
city.
but
It
like-
could be a show performer, you know, that's over at, you know, using Zoe Bowie as an example.
No,
That's famous out here for, you know, 9-10 years singing. It's anyone.
I agree with you, but it's more so here because the girls make so much more money here that you know, from cocktail serving, that like you have a girl who works
So it's very
part-time,
emasculating. you're saying.
like a girl who works the dance floor at Omnia is prettier than every single cocktail waitress in the entire state of Missouri. Like that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like it's just disproportional here.
So our advice is to kind of alpha us down more, make men feel like men.
Make them just focus on this word, appreciated.
Appreciate
They
it.
want to feel appreciated. Just focus
Appreciate.
on the idea that they want to feel appreciated because that's the issue. Like if my girlfriend were to come in, if she had a friend come in town and she didn't want me to hang out with her friend, then I would not feel appreciated. All right?
And you're not a whore if you put out. It's actually a nice glue. You're saying, hold on, it's not glue. Of course, I'm going to use that one. But you're saying that and I was always wondering, if you put out too soon, is he going to lose interest? Because, you know, statistics say if you wait long enough,
No.
then they'll fall in love, and then you're together longer, and your relationship will last longer.
That is impossible to prove. It is impossible to prove whether or not so here's what happens. A woman has
But
sex.
what about those pheromones?
If a woman has sex with a guy on the first date and he doesn't stay there, she blames the fact that she had the sex on the first date. She doesn't blame the fact that he maybe just never liked her. Because it goes back to what I said before. Everybody wants control. The entire left hemisphere of our brain is trying to organize the world and thinks that we can take control of all kinds of things. That's why we play the stupid lottery and we believe in astrology, because we think there's some way we can control the way things are. We don't think that we can control our hair color or how tall we are. We give those things up to genetics, but we think that we can control whether or not someone will fall in love with us based on whether or not we sleep with them on the first date of the third
But
date.
however, our DNA and those pheromones will run out after a while, and you guys are hunters, and after you have it for so much, you're still going to want to go hunting for other women.
The issue there is the institution of marriage has only been around for maybe 10,000 years, and humans have been around for 400,000 years. So it's very difficult for the idea of monogamy amongst men for the vast 99% of human existence didn't exist. There was no monogamy. And monogamy was something that was made up once agriculture happened. Once some men started having more property than other men during the agricultural age, then you had one guy take on several wives, and other men have sex with no one. That's where you started to see this sort of imbalance until we got to modern times. The idea of getting married because you fell in love with someone that you chose, that idea is really only maybe 150 years old.
I'm curious to see how many women are starting to adventure off now, because we've changed so much. We burned our bras so long ago, and we've become so alpha in so many different ways, and we have jobs, and we're doing this and that, we're providing for our family. I'm wondering if we're starting to get those characteristics as well.
What do you mean?
You know, I mean, I know it's in our DNA, but I'm wondering if there's some kind of evolutionary change in our brains that are going on where we want to start going hunting for someone. I'm wondering if it hasn't happened now.
It will happen. It will happen 10,000 years from now. Here's what could happen. 10,000 years. So right now, your brain, your what's it called?
You're trying to say you're more advanced.
What's the no, that's what's the mammal part of the brain? I can't remember what it's called right now. Not the hippocampus. The I forget. But anyway, your emotional part of your brain, right?
See?
Right? The emotional part of your brain right now has no concept of contraceptives, meaning that every time you have sex, your body reacts as if you could get pregnant. So therefore, you as a woman feel like I must be invested. But I think in 10,000 years of contraceptives, once women's bodies become used to the fact that I can have sex with this guy and not get pregnant, you're going to see women become much more, I think, sexually aggressive. That's an evolutionary possibility. But for something like that to happen, it takes like 40 or 50 generations.
Well, I think this is perfect time to get into talking about emotions and men and women and changes. Let's talk about Caitlyn.
Okay.
I think he's gotten some, or she, Caitlyn, Brenner, whatever, he, she, something. Obviously, his feminine has come out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he actually, after he won the decathlon, he started taking.
Oh, he did. He started taking injections.
He started taking injections in the 80s. He was, and you could see like pictures where his face started getting a little
Oh,
wider.
so it wasn't already in him
What do you mean?
becoming a woman.
No, he'd always wanted to be. No, he started taking hormonal injections of estrogen in the 80s after he won the decathlon. He was already trying on women's clothes when he was before he was the age of 12. So he'd always wanted to be a woman. By the way, he's not homosexual. Like, he actually still is attracted to women.
Okay, then why is he taking estrogen then?
He's taking estrogen because he wants to be a woman. You're confusing.
So he does
you're
plan on taking off the.
Maybe he doesn't have to, but you're confusing gender with sexuality. He wants to be a woman.
Well, isn't that gender?
No,
there's a male
right.
and there's a woman. Isn't that a gender?
Right. He aligns himself. He associates himself, or he can. He associates himself more with the female gender, and so because of that, he dresses like a female. He takes estrogen
Cries
and those
like
kind of
one.
things. Right.
Sorry.
But and some of the hormones that he's taken will cause him, because listen, he's 65, so he doesn't have a mass amount of testosterone right now. So it's very little testosterone and a whole lot of estrogen, and so you're going to see his body sort of change like he's a female, but he still has a Y chromosome. He will not actually be a female. He's still going to have the bone density of a man. For a while, until he continues to take estrogen for a while, and he doesn't have any testosterone. But he's always still going to have male reproductive parts. Even if he has the sex change, he'll still have.
And I'm wondering if he will at this age, at 65. I think it's a little dangerous. Now, I have some mixed emotions about this. I posted up there today saying I was a little upset about it being, ESPN Awards, this and that. But even though it did finally get the award show some attention, because we don't watch it. It's not getting the ratings. And I'm like, come on, really, did we need that? Do we really need another Kardashian up there making a scene? But then my girlfriend Bama brought something up. I didn't know that about the Arthur
Ashe Award,
yeah. That didn't he die of AIDS?
Yeah, he did die.
So he came out of the closet anyway, and so it had something to relation with that.
I was thinking about that too.
Sense.
There's a couple of issues here. Number one, Arthur Ashe was a homosexual. People are very confused about this. Bruce Jenner is not a homosexual. Bruce Jenner is a man. He is genetically a male who likes women. So that is a little bit of a stretch. I get that he's still in the community, and it's still a matter of tolerance. And
but he's not a current athlete.
It took us a tremendous amount of bravery. But yes, that's my point. We're talking about something that happened 35 years ago, where he won the decathlon, and that's impressive that he won the decathlon. But the ESPYs generally are for current athletes, and there was a gentleman who was an athlete, lost both his legs in combat. He was the commander of a Marine Corps troop. There was another gentleman who runs sprints in the Special Olympics. He's lost his left leg. Try to say that really fast.
The hockey player for cardiac arrest, right?
Yeah, there are guys like that.
That's got to be humiliating.
Right. So the issue is, did they deserve the ESPY more? Now, it's a subjective award, but here's where I have an issue.
Yes.
Supposedly, the rumor is that his people contacted. Remember, when he got the interview with Diane Sawyer, that's on ABC. ABC is owned by Disney, and Disney also owns ESPN. When he got the supposedly his handlers, Caitlyn Jenner's handlers, went ahead and said, "Listen, if you don't give me the ESPY, I'm not going to do appearances for you guys." Because the problem is people are canceling their cable like crazy. ABC is a network, and those networks are dying like crazy. And so it was a huge ratings boost. The ratings went through the roof for that Bruce Jenner interview that happened. I'm not saying that what he did wasn't brave. I've just been in an airplane that was on fire before in Iraq, and I don't think it was that brave. I just think it's a different kind of bravery. I'm not trying to.
It could have been just mentioned. He didn't have to take an award away from people.
No.
Like that.
Don't worry about the award. Like, people are going to live without the ESPY. My point is that they use the people out there who
it was wrong.
No. Here's the thing. There are people out there who are probably dealing with the same issue that Bruce Jenner is dealing with, and they want to have a sex change, and they're dealing with some some problems in their life, and they have to be brave to come out and do that. But the issue is, you have been manipulated into thinking that you are watching Bruce Jenner on stage because he is brave. You are not watching Bruce Jenner on stage because he is brave, or Caitlyn Jenner. You are watching Caitlyn Jenner because Kim Kardashian made a sex tape. That is why you're watching. That's why you're watching Caitlyn Jenner. You cannot take one away from the other.
And at least take it, like Bama mentioned, at least he should have gotten up there and talked about bullying or something, and it being a fight that whole time. At least put something up there about what, like the courageous thing to do, and not to, if he's been fighting this since he was 12 years old and having to, that battle of wanting to be that his whole life or something like that, and be on a Wheaties box and wish he had a bow in his hair or something,
The overall message was that of tolerance, which I absolutely agree with. The problem is, I don't even have a problem with him winning the ESPY. I have a problem with us being manipulated by Disney. Disney manipulated us into thinking that they gave him this award because he was brave. They did not give him this award because he was brave. There were clearly other people who were braver than he was. Listen, it is very difficult for him to go through what he went through, but he is a 65-year-old man who has means, lots of money, and a family that loves him. I can think of a lot of people in a lot worse situations to go through the situation that he's going through. And again, I am not criticizing Bruce Jenner, but the problem is, I don't believe I don't care who won the ESPY. I don't care about the ESPYs, and ESPN is dying, and all of cable television is falling apart. I care about being manipulated. And I feel like there are people out there who are looking up to him who have been manipulated into thinking he got that award because he was brave. He did not get that award because he was brave. He got that award because executives at Disney wanted ratings for ESPN. You need to just understand that you can't have one without the other. There would be no keeping up with the Kardashians if Kim Kardashian was not the assistant of Paris Hilton. Let's see how the show I Am Cate does, his new reality show. Again, I mean, that's the issue. Like, I completely believe that the problems that he's experiencing are legitimate, like that he's going through this and he legitimately wanted to be a woman. And at the same time, he wants a lot of attention, a lot. Can you imagine like a childhood star and they end up turning to drugs and going crazy, that kind of stuff? This man was one of the most famous human beings in the world. He won the decathlon, and then from that point on, did not win anything. Like, that was just it. Afterwards, he ends up meeting and marrying a woman who does a bunch of infomercials. What's her name? Kim Kardashian's mom. I forget. Kris.
Yeah, she didn't go.
Right. So she turned him back into a celebrity again. He married a PR person, right, Kris, and then that's got him back into the limelight. That's the issue. And I again feel like, because listen, I do things for publicity all the time. So I recognize when other people do things for publicity. And again, I have no issue with him winning the ESPY. I have a little bit of an issue. I think it was poor judgment on their part. But my issue is that we are being manipulated by Disney into thinking he got that ESPY for his bravery. He got that ESPY because he's on a reality show and he has turned this whole situation into a circus. And trust me, he likes the fact that it's a circus.
Yeah. Well, emotions all over. Now we've got him getting emotional. I'll get you some testosterone.
Hey, anybody see Pluto?
Oh, yes.
95 years ago, there was a guy who discovered Pluto, and all we saw was a little fuzzy ball, and we could tell how big it was, and we saw it has 3 moons, Charon, Hydra, and Nix. And now we finally have the first. 2 days ago, there was not a human being in the entire history of the world that ever laid eyes on Pluto, and now we finally have the first pictures of Pluto.
Exists.
Yeah. Well, no, we do exist. We just never saw a high-resolution photo of it. It is still a dwarf planet. Sorry, it didn't grow bigger. It's still like 100 times smaller than Neptune, so it's still a small planet, but. Yep.
That was really cool. I thought of you the other night when it was Neptune and Jupiter, and it was like right there, and you could see it in the sky.
I don't know. It was probably Venus.
Yeah, you could see it. Venus and Jupiter. Yeah, that was really, really neat. I always think of you.
You can see Neptune, man. You got some good fucking eyes, man. Neptune is far. Neptune is like 2.5
My
billion.
amateur astrologer here.
2.5
When
billion
is
miles away.
when is to wrap this show up? When is our next super eclipse?
Oh, I don't know.
September
I don't know.
23rd,
I don't know.
believe,
I don't know when it is.
September 23rd?
We do have a lot of events, and
We
in
have a
fact,
blood moon that I believe.
do you know what?
It's what? September what?
I think it's September 23rd.
Do you-
Is it?
do you know
and
what-
it's the what? It's the
Blood moon.
the
It's
blood
another
moon. It's our fourth one for this the
Right, so it's
whole
fourth
cycle.
one in
Fourth
2 years. There's another thing. We have a video coming out. It's called the Pool Awards. Do you remember the Pool Awards video? You were in the Pool Awards video. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I was sober for once.
Yes, she was sober, and she has one
Oh
right
my
here.
God!
She has
You
a
are
pool
such
award
a
right
jerk.
here.
No wonder you want
Do
me
you
to
guys see
come
this?
on. Oh, you knew
Can
too,
you
didn't
read
you?
this?
You
Can you
knew.
read that? Hold on. Can everybody read that right there? Can I get that on your? Look at that special effects right there. Can you see this right here? Can you see that? It's the Pool
Oh
Awards.
my God!
The video for the Pool Awards is hilarious. I'm working on it right now, and it's going to come out here pretty soon. And it's you can see all the fun that we had that day. I would invite all of you to come to Rehab for the Rehab Bikini Invitational August 8th, and then our finals are September 19th. And Crystal Hefner, Miss Playboy herself, is our DJ, and we also have several Playboy photographers there that are judges. And Brittany Kosmala, who owns Bellina Rebel, is one of our sponsors. And then also we do the Rehab Regatta, which is a remote control boat race that we do around.
Oh, the regatta! How fun is
Yeah,
that?
we do. It's $500.
What do the
Yes,
girls
gift
win this
card.
year for winning the Bikini Invitational?
It's 25,000 is first place. There's 100,000 overall.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's a diet
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, there's only one more preliminary, and then that's August 8th, and we have that going on. We also have a couple other events coming up that we can't talk about. One of them, though, has to do with Sundance Helicopters.
But we can't tell
I
you.
can't tell you all the details, but we're going to be doing an event with
But I will see you
Sundance
tonight
Helicopters.
for Friends on Fridays at Hearthstone, 9 to 11. And don't forget to keep watching us on Las Vegas Bucket List. And we have so much to give you, including a ticket to the Rise Festival, gift of All Talk Radio. So we will see much more of you. And maybe Michael will come back. We miss you.
Yes, they need a gift card to the Santa Rosa Clinic after they go to Plenty of Fish and hang out there.
Oh, gosh. I wonder if I'm going to stay on that thing.
Yes,
Bunch of minnows, the throwback, but whatever. Bye.
porn music.
Thank you. Dork. You totally knew. That's why you're like, are you coming? Are you coming?
Told you I wouldn't let it out of the bag.
You know, after all those years there, we never had rehab awards. We never had anything with it that said rehab.
See here?
I don't know. Oh, did you have somebody else coming in?
Oh, not Brett, but not till it starts. Yeah, babysit.
Who are you babysitting?
Brett, the blind guy that lives around here.
How are you feeling? And what did it come back as?
They have a tumor. I have to get rid of it. It's in the kidney. So they're gonna do a.
Is it benign?
They said it looks that way, but
benign
they
right
don't
now.
know because it just.
But if he lets it keep going, it'll be cancerous.
So
So they're going to remove it?
Yeah.
Or the whole kidney?
they're gonna take everything. The
They're
whole
going to take,
kidney,
okay, but
the
you
whole
still have
thing.
another one. A lot of people
Yeah.
donate kidneys.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I just I went to see Dr. Irene today. So
Oh, she's
Well,
still
that's
alive?
cool.
yeah.
She doesn't talk to me anymore.
She doesn't talk to me either.
Yeah, I called.
Well, that
her,
was
I
a
said,
nice connection.
Yeah, because I figured I had to have somebody to tell me.
Good
about
for
this and
you.
that, so.
Did she charge you?
Well, they did. They charged me at the thing, but she didn't for her
Good.
personal. So
Good.
yeah.
I think Irene has a boyfriend, and she doesn't
No.
want to be around us anymore.
Oh,
So I contacted. She said, "Yeah, just come and see her." So she read it for me and everything. And
oh. Well, I'm so glad that you met her and she's taking care of you.
yeah. So that's all she could think about. It's worth.
Keep forgetting about that thing.